Hi, Blake with BlvdHome. Today, we're going to talk about common things that break down with your appliances and things that you can do to fix them. Now, you're going to say, well, what do you know about stuff breaking down and the hassle you have to deal with? Trust me, I know. I may not be breaking my own, but I hear it from everybody else what a hassle it is because their appliances aren't working and I go out there and do something simple and they're like, well, why didn't somebody tell me that? And why are you charging me so much money to do nothing? Well, I do something because I tell you how to fix it. So if you watch this, it's cheap and you save lots of money. So let's get into it. Dishwashers. One of the most common complaints we get with dishwashers is it's not cleaning or not cleaning properly. Now, there are other issues, you know, if it's not turning on, if it's not filling up with water, things like that. Now, those are some things that, you know, you may want to leave to a technician, other than you may want to check the water under your sink, but things that you can check with them. You know, one of the most common things is you have the filters in the bottom. Now, you can refer to the use and care manual. I know 1,000 videos I've said check the use and care manual, but check your use and care manual. Clean the filters in the dishwasher themselves, because those filters are really important. They filter out all the food and all the debris and all the junk that goes in the dishwasher. If you don't rinse your dishes properly, and one of the things you should be doing is knocking the big stuff off your dishes. Now, we don't want to be rinse and clean because we want the soaps to be able to do what they do to be able to clean the dishes. But what we do want is to get the big stuff off there, because you leave stuff on there, it gets into the filter and it clogs it. So you have issues with the dishwasher cleaning. So check your filters, make sure your filters are clean. And also when those filters get dirty, it affects how well it drains. Easy things you can check is when you take the filter out at the bottom of the sump, where you can see on all the new dishwashers, that's where it drains out at. So if that junk gets down in there, gets debris down in there, that nice, you know, bag tie that you left from the bread that fell into the dishwasher that went down in there, that's now stuck in the pump impeller and wondering why it's not turning, well, check that stuff. It's really easy to check. Save yourself the headache of having a technician come out and charging you to pull stuff out that you very easily could have done yourself. So other than the dishwasher actually having a problem, I get complaints that they're not draining after they install the brand new garbage disposal. Well, inside the garbage disposal is a knockout plug, and that plug is designed, if you don't have a dishwasher, when you run water through the disposal, it doesn't come out the side of the disposal and run into your under cabinets, because that would be fantastic if that happened. There is a plug inside there that once you connect your dishwasher to the nipple that's on the side of it, if you don't take that plug out, it doesn't drain. Make sure you unplug your garbage disposal first, please. Make sure the finger will go all the way through it. At that point, you can connect your hose back up and put a clamp on it, and that will solve the draining problem. Second tip we have is on refrigerators. If your refrigerator isn't cooling properly, doesn't mean it's not cooling, no cold whatsoever, everything's warming up, boiling, and you put your hand in there and nothing's freezing, your ice is melting, that's a different issue altogether. But we're just talking not cooling well, meaning it's getting cold, but it's taking forever. Signs of this would be stuff in the refrigerator section boiling quickly and going bad quickly, such as your milk, your eggs, your cheese gets mold on it fast. Generally, that can be as simple as the condenser on it is dirty. You know, we've done other videos on it, and you can refer back to our other videos, how to clean condensers and where the condenser is located. But the condenser is a very important part of this refrigerator. It's what takes the heat away from the inside of the refrigerator. That's where it transfers it to, and that's put out into the room. Now, there's things that can cause this to not work very well. It could be very easily just be a dirty condenser. So about every 6 months, you should be pulling your refrigerator out and cleaning that condenser, taking a vacuum, taking a condenser brush, cleaning it off. It's something that everybody should be doing as far as general maintenance with the refrigerator. Other things that will affect it, a lot of the new refrigerators, all the airflow is dependent on the back. So if you put this in a really tight cabinet that there's zero space around any parts of it where it sits in, well, of course, it's not going to get any airflow. So of course, it's not going to work properly as far as the machine compartment to keep it cool, to keep the refrigerator section cool. So always make sure that you buy the right refrigerator for that size, but definitely clean your condenser out. Other things as far as checking, as far as it not cooling as well as it should be, your doors not sealing, or the gaskets themselves are not sealing properly when the doors are closed. With a side-by-side or a French door, you can open up one of the doors and just kind of look around the door itself where it closes against the frame. Make sure that it is sitting flush against the frame. There's no gaps or anything between it. If you've got junk and muck from all your kids grabbing it and spilling stuff down the gasket, and you know, when you pull on it, it goes when you open the door, you know there's stuff on it and it's not sealing very well because it's got junk on it. Just take a dish rag, soap and water, clean that gasket off, make sure that the gasket's nice and clean, make sure there's no gaps on it. Just check those gaskets. If they're getting torn or you have gaps in it, it's something that definitely needs to be addressed. That is probably the two most common problems why your refrigerator is not cooling well, is airflow, condenser being dirty, and the door is not sealing. So check those things. You're going to save yourself a lot of money and a lot of hassle with all this expensive food going bad in your refrigerator. One last thing, you can't have your refrigerator too overloaded. So at Thanksgiving time, Christmas time, holiday time, birthday time, whatever time that may be that you're gonna have lots of friends and family over, and you're gonna keep stuffing that refrigerator full of food. Well, refrigerators and the food in them are dependent on airflow over this food to make sure that it is cooling properly. There is a point you can overstuff a refrigerator, the air can't get to everything in it, so you're going to be digging through the mayonnaise and the ketchup and stuff to grab something in the middle of the refrigerator that's surrounded by everything else, and you're going to say, oh, this isn't very cold. Well, yeah, because all the air is being forced around it. So just be mindful of how you're loading your refrigerator. Yes, they will hold a lot of food, but no, they're not designed to be perfectly stacked, so there's no airflow whatsoever within it. So that's something you can easily check. Also, if you're having a cooling issue, as far as it's working, but it's not cooling like it should be. Our number 3 tip, washing machines not draining. 80 to 90% of the time, your washing machine's not draining. It's due to something that you or me, I'm the consumer, because I have it in my house, and you can ask my wife, she's done this to our machine, causing the pump to get blocked. And that can be caused several different ways. You have stuff in your pockets, you're not checking your pockets, or you're not checking your husband's pockets or your kids' pockets, and stuff gets down into the drain pump. When stuff gets down into the drain pump, it clogs it. So the number one thing you can always do, even though it's a hassle, and you're gonna say, gosh, this takes forever to do, is it worth spending an extra 3 minutes to check the pockets of your stuff put in it, or is it worth $165 to have a technician come out to your house to take something out of your pump? 3 minutes is not worth $165 to me, and the hassle of having to wait for somebody to come out to take a look at your appliance. So check your pockets, check them well. Make sure that there's nothing in your pocket. If you have lots of pets with pet hairs and you're washing pet blankets, make sure that before you wash that stuff, to take it outside and shake it out really good and get all the hair and all the other stuff off of the blanket as much as you possibly can, and off the pet beds before you put them in the washing machines, because hair will get down into the pumps and will clog them. Now, there are certain machines, and we've talked about in other videos. Again, please go check out these other videos that give a lot more detail. There are machines that you do have access to the pump, and you have clean outs on front load machines. You can get in there, you can pull this out and pull all that junk out, and they usually recommend doing that about every 3 to 6 months. If you don't have access to one of those, well, then you have an area such as a top load machine or certain front load machines that you've got sumps that are down inside there that you're going to have a service technician come out and take it apart to get in there, and that's going to cost you money. So the best thing you can always do is do those things to prevent the hassle of the machines not draining, and that way you're going to save yourself money, time, and down machine time. So when I come out to the home, you're not upset with me because it's broke. These are 3 good tips that will help you with all your appliances and your appliance problems, so you don't have to call a technician out to solve these for you and have the downtime that you're going to have with these machines waiting for a technician, and also the money you may have to put out to have these simple things fixed that you could do yourself. We really appreciate you watching. Please like and subscribe, and if you have any comments, please put them below and we will do our best to answer them, and we'll see you again real soon.